We are talking with Jeff Belanger, and he's been on the show several times, and each time I always question what do I call what you do, Jeff? I mean, you're not. I said paranormal investigator, and one time you were kind of like, well, not really. Ghost hunter. What is it you do? What would you say your occupation is?
Author, adventurer, podcaster, I love all things weird, and I explore the strangeness that is all around us. And I don't think that fits on a W-2.
Right. Basically, you're what people refer to as a certified weirdo.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? There, we finally got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Certified weirdo. Love it.
Yeah, and
that fits.
There's a lot of evidence for that. I mean, you have the Exploring Legends podcast, and then the show on Amazon, and you've got a couple of books out. One being The Fright Before Christmas, which is amazing because we always have Jeff on Halloween because he always has a good creepy story. But Jeff always says Christmas is way scarier than Halloween, and it's because back in the day people didn't know if they were going to live through the winter, right?
That's exactly right. Halloween is the warm-up act. If you're into creepy stuff, Christmas has it all over Halloween. I get it. Halloween's scary. Ghosts scare some people, sure, but Christmas could kill you.
Yes.
There are monsters lurking in the darkness, and they're coming for us. And tomorrow is Krampusnacht, December 5th.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes. This is when Krampus comes and abducts the bad children and then takes them home and eats them. Is that Krampus?
That's it.
Yeah.
You have to try to survive tomorrow. It's critical. If you do survive tomorrow, then, there's hope. But he's not the only thing you got to worry about. It's just tomorrow's the big day for Krampus, December 5th.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other really scary characters that revolve around Christmas. And I got to tell you, as far as Krampus goes, and he's probably my favorite character from your book,
Sure.
The Fright Before Christmas. I got to say, being abducted and then being eaten alive is way scarier than getting a lump of coal in your stocking. And I'm not dissing Santa because he's inherently a kind person, and that's why he gives you coal instead of kidnaps you. But I think it's a little more motivational, in my humble opinion, that that the threat of being abducted and eaten works a little better on kids. Although I don't know about my kid.
You're totally right. And the thing is, we've lost the consequence of this holiday, and the consequence has been there for literally thousands of years because it's cold, it's dangerous, it's the shortest day, it's the longest night, and it's a season we have to survive. Do we have enough food for the winter, enough fuel to burn and keep warm? Will our roofs hold up under the snow? And we are facing down the barrel of a loaded gun every single year when you live in northern climates. And these monsters remind us that, hey, you got to be good, because not just good for goodness sake, you got to be good because we're going to need each other. If my roof collapses and you and I have had beef, Mike, imagine I knock on the door and you're like, you're not coming in here.
Yeah, good luck to you and your family, right? I mean, you shouldn't have stole my shovel, in September. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we get together, we party, we give each other gifts, we make merry, and we put our differences aside until the spring. And if we don't, there's consequences, and the consequences are the monsters like Krampus. But he's not alone. I mean, there's Grilla from Iceland, there's Per Futár from France, there's Hans Trapp, there's the Belschnickel from Germany. All these monsters are coming to punish. They are not here to reward. They're here to hit us, beat us, cook us, eat us, whatever it takes to get us back on the right path.
I love it. Belschnickel, again, another one of my favorites. He's a rather diminutive, stocky gentleman with a beard, much like Santa, but instead he breaks into your home and beats the bad children with a stick. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't break in. You invite him in.
Oh.
And you tell him, this is the bad one over here.
Oh,
and
my
gosh. It takes the kid out back and beats him for you. It's a service. Oh, this is a good thing.
Do you have to pay him anything?
It's customary to give him a little bit of booze and maybe a cookie or two.
Oh, my
and then
God.
He's on to the next house.
Oh, I wish I'd known that earlier. But yeah, it's amazing the characters in this book, The Fright Before Christmas, like the Belschnickel. Now, which is the one that punishes? I think it punishes you if your clothes aren't clean.
Oh, that's in Iceland. That's the Yule Cat. You need new clothes, and you got to set your new clothes out on Christmas Day to show that you've worked hard and you've been worthy of new clothes. And at that point, the Yule Cat will leave you alone. If you don't do it, then the Yule Cat will eat you and kill you.
Oh, where are the Christmas specials for these characters?
In development is all I can say. We're working on it. You know what I mean? I'm calling some people.
Where was Rankin Bass back in those days?
Rankin Bass.
Oh
my God,
I want a stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer type thing on the Belschnickel. That would be great. Well,
my God, imagine if we could resurrect and get a look and feel like that.
That would be fantastic. But you're bringing some of this stuff to life very soon. In fact, this Saturday in Whitensville, you are actually doing a little tour around this book. And what is this show? Where is this show in Whitensville, and what does it involve?
So it's a one-man show called at the Sing Performance Center Saturday at 7 p.m. in Whitensville. And it's the book actually started as a show. I've been doing this for 12 years, and it just evolved until I said, oh, my gosh, this has to be a book. And then the book came out last year. It's in its fourth printing already. It's been going great. And I even have a picture of the book at the top of Mike Shue's Christmas tree.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's right.
I do. I have it. It's my lock screen.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, because we love my family loves all of those characters. We don't want to be abducted or eaten, but we're big fans.
So Saturday night, it's a one-man show. There's a lot of visuals, there's video clips and music, and it's just a really fun performance. And I like to say it's transformative. If you hate Christmas, this is the show for you. And if you love Christmas, this is the show for you, because there's a backstory, how we got here, right? If it's too commercial, if it's too this, if it's too that, we can fix it, but not without the help of some horrible monsters that are stalking us and going to try to kill us.
Oh, this sounds amazing. This sounds great. Now, I notice a little note on your website about this show. It says this program is not for young children. How young are we talking about here?
Yeah, if you've got kids under 10, I really wouldn't bring them unless you hate them. And then do it.
Those are the most impressionable ages, Jeff. I would imagine you should bring them. And then, you'll probably have less troubles, throughout their years until they become adults and have kids of their own,
Listen, you want to bring kids under 10, you're going to have a lot of questions to answer later that night. But by all means, better they hear it from me,
Well, this is great. I'm looking forward to this, and I can't recommend the book anymore. It came out last year. It's just a great little collection, and it's a beautiful, physically, just a gorgeous book. Leather bound, beautiful pictures inside, and it's something that's great that you can, if you're usually that family that sits by the fire on Christmas Eve and recites the night before Christmas. I mean, that's great and all, but you may want to consider the Fright Before Christmas and choosing one of the many stories inside there, just to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is for the Halloween lovers. I'm telling you, you might find a new favorite holiday.
Do you have people that dress up that come to these things as one of the characters at all?
I did have a Krampus show up once, which was great. I mean, it was amazing and surprised me. Literally went around back and then just came out near the end, and I went, well, I didn't know this was coming. And totally. So some people go all out with their Krampus costumes. The Krampus Society of New England has a group, and I remember going to one of their Krampus balls, and there was 40 Krampuses, and the costumes were just off the chain. They were amazing. So people do get into it, and I love that. I love that these creatures are coming back. You mentioned Krampus is your favorite. He's getting movie deals. He eats in the fanciest restaurants. Mm-hmm. I get it, but there's so many others. And I think you're starting to see them also make a comeback.
What was that one from Italy?
The Befana, the
That's
Christmas
it.
witch.
The Befana, terrifying. Can you explain a little bit about the Befana?
Well, so maybe not terrifying, right? So she's the Christmas witch. She comes on the eve of Epiphany, which is the last of the 12 days of Christmas. And she sneaks into your house, and she's been known to leave little presents in the shoes for your kids. But the best part about La Befana is before she leaves your house, she cleans it. So you get a clean house.
terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying.
Terrifying.
You won't find anything. Obviously.
It's great. The book is full of characters like this, and it's awesome. So that's this Saturday night, 7:00 show, the Sing Performance Center in beautiful Whitensville. May I suggest that if you're going to Jeff's show, maybe stop by before or after at the Murder Hill Brewery, which is in Whitensville. They make fantastic beer. It's Ben Roche, who started Wormtown, and now this is his new thing. And you should go in there, Jeff, and ask him why they call it Murder Hill.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's the post-show plan now.
Yeah, there you go. And have a beer while you're doing it. So, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. And again, everybody, get the book. It's a great book, too. But will you have books available at the show?
Yep, there'll be books for sale, autographs. We'll be hanging out after. It's
nice.
It's a whole thing. And listen, Mike, I do want to say, I truly hope, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I truly hope that you somehow pull off a miracle and survive Krampus tomorrow.
Krampus and I have an understanding. Let's just say.
Okay, fair.
I told him I will never drink like that again, and he told me he will never eat me for dinner. Is there? Before you go. Is there a Christmas or equinox or Christmas or a solstice character that's terrifying that will punish children who don't get their driver's license when they should?
Yes. Was that the right answer?
I hope so. I'd like to write a letter to that particular creature.
I feel like you're asking for a friend. Am I right?
I'm just doing research, Jeff. I'm just I want to be prepared for the show. Yeah.
I've heard in recent minutes that the Belschnickel could be very much that character that shows up at your door covered in a patchwork of furs, dirty soot on his face, carrying a switch of sticks, saying, "Who here is not getting their driver's license?" Perhaps a daughter, maybe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And,
maybe.
For as an example, and then you would point in the corner and say that one, and
right.
then the beating starts.
The beating starts, and then he'll drag her out to the car. And then make her take her driving test.
And sit in the back seat all the way to the R&B.
Yes, just beating her with a stick.
Check your blind spot. Whack, whack,
Oh
whack.
boy,
yeah.
Oh boy. I'm gonna write a letter. Okay, all right. Hey, Jeff. Thank you so much for your time, man. We'll see you in Whitensville at the Sing Performance Center on Saturday.